Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing awesome. Got the Atlanta Falcons team preview for the season. Um, go ahead and like and subscribe, guys. Support the channel. Going to be covering NFL all season long and fantasy football. Go ahead and check out my fantasy football video on the Falcons, too. I'll be doing a fantasy video and a team video on every team, leading you up to the NFL season here. So go ahead and stay tuned for all of that good content. And going to be covering the Falcons here. The Falcons, very bad last season, finishing 4-12. Not a good year for Atlanta. They had definitely had a rough season, to say the least, but had some key losses here. They lost Julio Jones. That's definitely going to hurt their offense a little bit here for sure. Losing Keanu O'Neal to the Cowboys. Lost Todd Gurley. Gurley wasn't really that effective last season, but still kind of a big loss. And they lost Brian Hill, which was a pretty solid backup in his few years with Atlanta. Been pretty solid, but some new additions here to help out the squad here. Drafting Kyle Pitts does help the Atlanta Falcons here. They've needed that guy, since they had Austin Hooper, Tony Gonzalez, they need that guy. Matt Ryan likes that guy. Pitts is going to be that guy for sure. So I love Pitts as an addition here. Should be a beast in the red zone for sure. Bringing in Mike Davis from the Panthers. Mike Davis had a great year last season, filling in for the injured McCaffrey. So I like Mike Davis as a bruiser in the run game, which they haven't had in a while. So I love Mike Davis to maybe take the load off Matt Ryan this season, and maybe they can actually establish somewhat of a run game, which they haven't seen in years prior. Drafting Richie Grant in the second round from UCF should help out in the safety department. Really good in college. Hopefully that can translate into the pros. And then bringing in Cordell Patterson. You get that utility guy, plays wide receiver, gets snaps at the running back, all pro kick returner. You know what you're getting with Cordell. He's that game changer, type of player. Definitely an older player now, but he does so many things good for your team. They need that kind of guy on this squad. Just looking at the projected depth chart here, we have Matt Ryan, obviously the starter. We have Mike Davis at running back, Cordell looking like the backup, and then Quadre Ollison as the third stringer, Keith Smith as the fullback, and then Calvin Ridley, wide receiver number 1, Russell Gage, wide receiver number 2, and then Olamide Zaccheaus as the wide receiver 3, and then Kyle Pitts as the tight end 1, followed by Hayden Hurst and Lee Smith, supported with an offensive line of Jake Matthews, Matt Gano, Matt Hennessy, Chris Lindstrom, and Caleb McGarry, and then Young Shuku as their kicker. Really solid offense right there. And the defense, we're looking at. Let's take a look at the defense. All right, the defense, we're looking at Jacob Tuoti Mariner as the starting D-end, Grady Jarrett at defensive tackle, Tyler Davidson at tackle, then we have Dante Fowler Jr., Michael Walker, Deion Jones manning the middle, Foasade Oluokun as a linebacker, AJ Terrell as linebacker, Richie Grant as the safety, Deron Harmon as the free safety, and then Kendall Sheffield as the cornerback. Not the best defense right there. Just really not on paper. Not very electric. Looking at these offensive stats and how they ranked up last season, we have Atlanta Falcons 368.4 yards per game on offense. They had 4,000, or they finished, hold up. They averaged 272.7 passing yards per game, finishing with 95.8 yards rushing on the ground per game, 24.8 points per game. They were able to put up the points. They just could not translate that into wins whatsoever. And let's hope maybe this season can be a little bit different. especially with their offense. Defense, they were towards the bottom 4 in defense last season, allowing 398.4 yards per game. I'll tell you what, in the NFL, that's not going to get it done. So they better make some changes on defense, some defensive schemes, because you're not going to win very many games allowing 400 yards on offense, on defense here. Passing, they were allowing 293.6 yards per game, allowing 104.8 yards on the ground, and then giving up 25.9 points per game. Defense was a very bad spot for the Falcons, and that's why their offensive numbers were so good, because Matt Ryan was always trying to carry him back. So I feel like it's going to be the same exact issue this season here. Matt Ryan throwing for 4,500 yards last season, losing Todd Gurley, who ran for 678 yards, but I think Mike Davis will fill that role in pretty well. Calvin Ridley coming off a 1,300-yard receiving campaign, finishing with 9 touchdowns. Really great year for Calvin Ridley. It's going to be a different kind of offense this season with Mike Davis, Calvin Ridley as the 1, losing Julio, Russell Gage as the 2, Kyle Pitts. Is he going to be that elite tight end where they drafted? That's the hope. We'll see if he ends up helping Matt Ryan out, being that disruptor on offense. But yeah, I love the Falcons offense. I think they're going to be super fun this year. But defense, I think, is going to be the real question mark for the Falcons. We're going to see if they can get over that hump. Vegas currently has the win total for the Falcons sitting at 7, coming off a 4-12 campaign. We know they're getting an extra game this season with, the NFL adding an extra game. I think I'm going to have to take the under 7 here. I think they can get around six wins maybe, but 4-12, losing Julio, losing Gurley, didn't really get much better on the defensive end. I think it's going to be another struggling year for the Falcons here. I think the Falcons have put up their yards, have some fine offensive days, but they just don't have the defense or the guys there to really win them over on the defensive side. So I'm gonna take the under on that 7 win total for the Falcons, and yeah, that's gonna be my preview for the Falcons here. Really, really good offense passing, but defense I think is gonna be the struggle. Sorry, Falcons fans, but I just don't see them getting to that 7 win mark. I'll be surprised if they do. 7's a pretty reasonable over, so if you think they're gonna hit, I think it's pretty solid. But coming off a 4-12 season, didn't really improve their team all that much. I think it's going to be tough to get to that 7 win total. And yeah, it's going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And I'll be doing these previews for every team here and all the fantasy previews. So be sure to check those out every day. And I will, getting ready for the NFL season. So good luck. I'll see you guys in the next video.